Mary Cathcart's a chamber member. She's from the University of Maine's Margaret Chase Smith Policy Center. This is her question. Maine has 15 public colleges and universities and many centers for distance education. Given the continuing budget shortfalls, how would you as governor structure higher education to make college more affordable and increase Maine's number of college degree holders? Pat McGowan.
We've proposed that the general fund portion of the university be a full 9% of the general fund budget. And that's about investment, and that's about looking at our children and the future. One of the greatest things that happened in Maine didn't come from the government. It came from the passing of a wonderful man who said that he was going to work 10 years after he had died. And that was Harold Alfond, who left every child, every one of the 14,000 babies that are born in this state, a $500 college scholarship. The University of Maine and the community colleges are our key to a healthy economy in the future. I'm a product of it. My sisters are a product of it. My son graduated in the engineering program, and 2 of my daughters attend the University of Maine at Farmington. It is a wonderful facility. The university system, and coupled with the community colleges, will be the best hope for Maine's future. We've proposed in our 2020 vision a full 9% funding for the university system. When I served in the legislature and I served on the budget committee, and some people are talking about having people that don't have experience in government or how to put budgets together or how to work legislation, I propose that we move toward people who know how to get things done and make government work. And that's my offer to you as a candidate for governor this year.
Rosa Scarcelli.
Well, for folks that are happy with how things have worked so far, there's plenty to choose from. So I will offer you a different set of ideas and a different solution. The university system is trying too hard to be everything to everyone. And there's some very fine people, some sitting in this room that I see here that work at the university and are doing some amazing things. And they're bringing in research and development dollars, and they're developing centers of excellence. But they're entrepreneurial in their spirit. My father was at the University of Maine for 35 years, and I actually attended the University of Maine in Orono for 3 semesters before I transferred and went to Bowdoin. What we have to do is not throw more money at an inefficient system. The university system has to be more accessible. It has to be more affordable. And I believe the way to do that is a couple of things. One is we need to look at whether or not Selma Botman at the University of Maine, Southern Maine, could run the southern part of the state, whether or not the new replacement for President Bob Kennedy could run the northern part of the state, whether or not we need a chancellor's office. We have plenty of other models in other systems in other states that are doing it in a different way. Why don't we look at those? Let's look at the satellite universities, and I call them the satellite universities because they're in smaller communities, and see whether or not they really need a provost at every single one, whether or not you need an HR person at every single one. Let's really dig down and figure out how we can make the system more efficient. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that we can do that, and we need to be looking outside the box. We can't just keep throwing money at a system that's not delivering the excellence we need. The University of Maine at Farmington, where I have a soft spot, and the University of Maine at Orono and USM should be our flagships, and we should invest in them, and we should not have any degree programs that overlap.
Smiling Steve Rowe.
Yes. Quick story. My mom left school in the 8th grade to care for her younger brothers and sisters. When she was 48 years old, her last child graduated from high school. My mom got a GED and started college. She graduated at age 52 and taught for over 12 years. Next to her children, the thing she was most proud of was her education. It's more than just skills. It's more than just book learning. It's more than just knowledge. It's also self-esteem. We have to increase the number of people in Maine who have advanced degrees, both associates and bachelor's degrees. And right now, only about 34% of people over 25 do. We've got to get this right. We've got to make our universities, our community colleges, affordable and accessible. And the current system, it's not perfect. We have to make some structural changes. We have to bring down operating costs and administrative costs. And there does have to be a change in the structure. I don't know what the final structure looks like, but it's going to have to be that everybody has access, both from a financial perspective and otherwise. We need to increase distance learning. We need to collapse walls between the community colleges and between the universities and between one another. We need to align academic skill-building programs with workforce needs now and in the future, a better job. And finally, we need to fund higher education. If we value something, we fund it, and we're not doing it. Tuition continues to go up. We've got to get this right. Our future depends on it.
Libby Mitchell.
Thank you very much. We need 40,000 new degree people in the next 10 years, and they're not just young people. They're people who are going back to school. We need a culture of where people know that education is accessible to them. I got my law degree about 5 years ago. One can continue to learn and change careers throughout one's life. I've never yet been to the campus at Orono without discovering some wonderful program that's first in the nation in business administration or whatever, but it's a well-kept secret. We first of all need to advertise and make sure and market not only to Maine young people, but to young people all over New England and across the country, because importing students to Maine is going to help our universities grow. The campuses around the state are economic engines and they're cultural centers for those communities. Can they be run efficiently? Obviously, and they certainly don't need to replicate what's other places, but they're the entry points for so many people. The community colleges and the universities do need to work much better together. The community colleges are often the low-cost entry point, and we should encourage that. But if you get some credits there, they should be transferable to the university in a way that is not maddening to both the student and to the faculty as they try to work with these students. Tuition should be kept at a very modest level following inflation, so that means we need to focus on a delivery system that is absolutely impeccable, focused on outcomes. Too many students get into the university, into community colleges, who can't stay there. That's another huge loss we have to address.